January 31st, 2020.
This is Nerd Bourbon episode 139. I'm Seth Sturgill.
And I am Todd Sturgill.
Hello, Todd.
Hello, Seth.
Todd, I have a confession to make.
I
got another confession to make. You know that famous Foo Fighters song, Todd?
Is it famous? No, I'm just playing.
It's pretty famous, right?
Yeah, it's pretty famous.
Have you ever seen that? Have you ever seen that video where once he gets to that hook there, is someone getting the best? They just do that on loop for like 10 hours.
Oh,
the
yeah.
best,
The
the
best. It just keeps going. Fuck.
I love
Isn't
it.
isn't the music video for that like him just like in like traffic or some shit?
Is that right?
I don't know.
Dave Grohl is just in traffic?
There's a Foo Fighters thing where like there's a video where he's in fucking traffic. I swear to God.
Like he's
at least
driving
starts.
in traffic, or
wait up. I swear to God, I'm not crazy, dude. There's some fucking song.
You know, Foo Fighters is a weird thing for me. I feel like my relationship with Foo Fighters is weird because I actually love Dave Grohl as a person. I think he's super talented. He's funny. I like him a lot. I respect him a lot. And yet, and I like a few Foo Fighters songs, blah, blah, blah. But yet, I don't really consider myself a Foo Fighters fan.
Same.
I think Everlong is a really, really good song. Like, that's a really great song. But other than that, I could kind of take them or leave them.
That's kind of where I'm at.
So I don't know. It's weird. Anyway, that's a little bit of a tangent. I got another tangent for you, Todd. I wanted to. The reason I got on that little Foo Fighters train there is because I do have a confession. Now we need to continuing with the running theme of this show for the past several weeks, the energy drink crisis, the energy crisis that we've been
Oh, bro, I just spent $70.
about. Oh, gee, 70?
Yeah.
How many reigns does that buy you, Todd?
So here's the deal. I paid for shipping, but also I'm buying some of their new line.
Okay.
So so I get insider knowledge. I'm really cool with a lot of the Coke people, and they let me know about this a while back. It's a new line from Reign, and it's a thermogenic drink.
What the fuck does that even mean?
It basically burns calories while also.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, because you need more chemicals in that drink.
Yes, yes, I do. So yeah, I bought 2 flavors of that actually. So I got it's called, by the way, the line's called Rain Inferno. Not a sponsor.
That definitely isn't. The day Rain sponsors this podcast is the day I die. I want you to know that.
I am a dedicated Rain drinker. I drink basically at least 1 Rain a day. But yeah, I have shit at my feet right now. There is a 12-pack of Melon Mania.
So I've been a staunch. I think I've talked on this podcast before about my past with energy drinks. There was a good period of about 6 years or so where I drank at least 2 Monster Imports every single solitary morning.
Yeah.
And I just felt like I was getting addicted to them. I had a few bad energy drink experiences, and I swore off of them. And I did that up until last Saturday.
I'm sitting here like fucking Palpatine.
Good. Yes. I finally gave in. You know what it was? It was the perfect storm of bullshit because I had no coffee at the house.
That's how it starts.
I had no coffee. I was on about 2 hours of sleep. And I got to work and I was like, no, this, and I'm going to be real. If we were not out of stock of the Melon Mania Rain, that would have been the day I tried Rain.
Can I tell you right now, the Melon Mania is so fucking good. The Melon Mania it's still, like, my 2 favorites are the peach and the melon. But, so, I didn't even finish telling you this. The Rain Inferno flavor that I was most curious about, and it's one of the ones I bought, is I bought a safe one and I bought an interesting flavor.
Okay.
So, it's like, one of the ones is just like fruit punch. It's whatever, he gives a shit. That's going to be fine. The interesting one that I bought that one of the merchandisers told me about was jalapeno strawberry.
That sounds fucking disgusting.
Nah, bro. That's a right up Daddy's alley.
That just doesn't even sound appetizing to me in the least.
It's
But
delicious. I can't wait to try it.
if we had the Melon Mania in stock, I would have broken and tried rain that day, but we didn't.
Here's the thing. I'm actually kind of happy you didn't just jump into a rain, because I think you need to build your power back up.
Well, it's not even that. I have no interest in rain. But here's the thing. So I was in like this fervor state where I just like I stumbled into work and I basically just like tiger crawled my way to the energy drink section, and I looked at the rain and I was about to just I'm like foaming at the mouth. I just need caffeine. I'm just like if there's rain here, I'm gonna fucking buy it. And thankfully, the flavor I wanted to try was out. And so then a moment of clarity came over me after that happened. And I turned to Google and I said, okay, out of the energy drinks, what is the least bad for me, essentially?
Pussy.
And so I went with the Monster Ultra Zero. And you know what? I really like it. I really like it a lot, and it's not that bad for me.
You sicken me.
So that's what I'm drinking.
You're a pussy boy.
It's got, hear me out. It's got the normal size has got 180 milligrams of caffeine, which is enough for me.
It's not enough for me.
That's because you've ruined your body with chemicals and horse shit. And you're about to further ruin your body with more.
Damn straight.
Calorie burning my ass. Calorie burning my fucking ass, Todd. You know as well as I do. Anyway.
Here's my thing. I'm mainly buying it because it's got other flavors. And I'm on a mission to try them all.
So 180 milligrams of caffeine, and it's pretty much, if you read the ingredients on the Monster Ultra Zero, it's really all of the stuff, all the chemical shit that's in there is just there for the flavor, because otherwise it wouldn't have any of that energy drink tang. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's actually got a decent source of vitamins. The sodium's not too bad. There's no sugar. There's no calories. I like it. It's actually pretty good. So I've been on that shit lately.
That's how it starts. You'll give in. You'll give in once you're immune to that puny little bullshit.
But once I took that first sip, I was like, oh no, I've fallen off the wagon.
Mm-hmm. See, I'm limiting myself to one a day, no matter what, because I already know I'm already at the point now where I kind of want to start drinking more than one, but I'm fighting that. Because for a while there, I was drinking like 2 to 3, and that's like 900 milligrams of fucking delicious caffeine.
I'm not like hooked, but it just gives me that extra little boost that I need in the morning. That coffee normally provides, but I've been out.
I get the shakes when I don't drink it.
Anyway. This is not an energy drink podcast. This is a video game podcast. Todd, what?
Liquid cocaine. No.
What have you been playing?
A shit ton of Witcher 3.
Yes. It was funny because you told me you were like, you snapped me at one point after you finished the main story or whatever, and you were like, you think this was fast, but know that every time I've played it, it's been for 12 hours, basically.
It's essentially every session that I did, it was like at least just 8 to 10 hours.
It, huh?
Dude, I was immersed into the story. And I can't wait to do my New Game Plus.
Oh, I didn't know the game had New Game Plus. That's cool.
Yes, it has New Game Plus.
Nice.
And I will romance the redhead next.
I'll have her next.
But no, it's I've been having a I've been having a lot of fun with it though. The game is just, it's gotten me emotional a few times.
Really?
Yeah. Actually got me emotional in this little this past DLC that expansion that I did, Heart of Stone or whatever.
Uh-huh.
Just finished that one actually yesterday. I finished that last night before I went to sleep at the time of this recording. And at the time of this recording now, as I just jumped into basically it's like the final expansion, right? Blood and Wine or whatever.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I'm jumping into that next. And I'm looking forward to it. And I've seen snippets of shit throughout the years. Because I jumped into this game very, very late.
Well, yeah. Game came out like
And
5 years ago.
yeah, part of me is like, damn, I really wish I played this game. I wish I gave into it earlier. But part of me is happy that I waited because now it's like I'm in the perfect period of my life to actually sit down and play it.
I was gonna say, why do you wish that? Because here you are with nothing better to play. You paid next to nothing for it. It's done. All the DLC is out. To me, this seems like the perfect time to play.
It is. It is. It is essentially. It's been a lot of fun. Shit, I've been like shit. Just today, before I even started the DLC, I was in one of the main landmass areas, and I just went through the entire map, and I did all of the question marked locations.
So, are you going to be doing that? Are you going to like 100% the game? That would be really shocking to me.
There is a possibility.
That would really surprise me.
There is a possibility, boy. That's how much I do enjoy this game. And
Damn.
for me to say that, that means something.
Yeah, I would be shocked if you end up doing that.
It's been honestly probably one of the. It's funny as I actually thought to myself, I'm like, what's different? Like, why can't I get in? I thought I was like kind of like I can't really get into open world games anymore. Here I am playing the ever living shit out of this game, and I could not for the life of me get into Days Gone.
So what do you think the differentiating factor is there?
Fantasy.
Just the setting?
Yes.
Do you think you've been craving a fantasy setting, or do you think that you cannot do anything other than fantasy anymore?
Part of me is like, I don't think I give a shit about the post-apocalypse sort of zombie-esque bullshit in open world games. And I just, in general, just prefer just fantasy.
It's funny because that's kind of how my little brother Travis, he straight up dislikes most science fiction settings and most like non-fantasy settings.
I don't know.
He's like, go big or go home with the fantasy shit.
Yeah, and that's why honestly, like, I'll tell you right now, the game I'm really looking forward to, and I think it's going to be at like some fucking Japanese thing coming up pretty soon is Elden Ring.
Elden Ring, yeah, they're gonna have that. Yeah, they're gonna have that.
You probably read the same thing that I read. It's gonna be at some fucking show.
It's somewhere in like mid-February. It's gonna be somewhere, but I don't know if we're gonna see anything new from it.
Shit, we hopefully see something new. We've seen nothing. The only thing that we've seen from that is essentially like that little teaser, and then like there's like little articles about them talking about like their like about something about the game, and that right there is like it's supposed to be like the most open game that like FromSoft's ever done and shit. I'm like, just jerking my dick reading about.
Talk is cheap, Todd.
I know.
I need to see gameplay.
No, I do too. That ass. I need to see gameplay. But yeah, I mean, I think I want to like. I'll probably revisit like talking about The Witcher once I like finally put it down. But overall, like, what can I say about the game that hasn't been said by like anybody else that's played it? It's fucking great. And I said this like last week. Is it's like it's made me more excited for Cyberpunk, seeing the quality that they bring to the table.
Yeah, they are very, very quality driven. It's funny because there's some rumors going around, and they don't seem to be really perpetuated in any sort of truth, but there was all this talk going around that like, oh, Cyberpunk's delay is because they couldn't get it optimized on the current gen consoles or whatever. And it's like, okay, I don't think that's why whatsoever. And it's funny because even Cory Barlog, creative director of PS4 God of War, he was on Twitter. He's like, yeah, you do realize that up until about like a month before launch, no game is optimized, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's just not the way it works. And these guys are launching on these platforms. They're not going to launch the game in September on these platforms and have it run like dog shit. That's just not going to happen. So that's not why, I'm pretty sure. I think CD Projekt is just one of those developers that is not going to
Yeah.
release a game until it's done.
It's done when it's done. Like it's like whatever.
The problem that I was thinking about this, the interesting thing that we're going to have with Cyberpunk, because if you think about it, The Witcher 3 did not have the hype cycle that Cyberpunk has right now.
Yeah.
The Witcher 3 kind of came out of nowhere a little bit. I mean, the fans knew that it was coming. It was a big deal when it came out, but it kind of, in other words, it took a lot of people by surprise.
Yeah.
And with Cyberpunk,
And that's now why like Cyberpunk I think's got a little more of a hype cycle because of it, but
well, and I wonder if it's going to suffer a little bit because of that. I wonder if Cyberpunk has a little bit riding against it now, because the fact of the matter is, we've seen, you could go online right now and watch hours of Cyberpunk gameplay.
mm-hmm.
And we know what that game looks like. There is a precedent there. It's been hyped up. It's been on the E3 stage and stuff like that. It's got all this hype around it that The Witcher didn't have. And expectations, when you have high expectations, you're much more easy to disappoint.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So I wonder. I think the game is going to come out and be great. I have no doubt of that, especially giving CD Projekt's pedigree and everything. But I'm also just sort of like, I wonder. I just wonder if we're not getting, if the hype isn't carrying this game away a little
we'll
bit.
see if the hype is real when it comes out.
So I guess we'll see.
Yeah. And other than that, it's my food has essentially been Witcher 3 and then a little bit of Modern Warfare mixed in.
Oh yeah,
That's about it.
as a little digestif.
Basically. Just kind of going in, rocking some motherfuckers and going to bed.
Let's see, like a little Andes mint at Olive Garden.
Yes.
Is that what you'd say?
Yes.
How they give you that little Andes mint with the check at Olive Garden?
Yes.
Indeed. What's your go-to order at Olive Garden?
I wouldn't even be able to tell you. I haven't been to Olive Garden in like over 10 years.
Whew.
Let me tell you why I don't go to Olive Garden. A bad experience.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
How can that be when you're there, your family?
Oh, we weren't treated like family when my family went.
You're hanging out with the wrong family. No, I'm just kidding. What
No,
happened?
See, my family's gone back to Olive Garden. I don't. I just don't do it because I still fucking remember this shit, and it pissed me the fuck off.
It must have really etched into your memory if it survived
Well,
Todd
no,
in the
it's
middle.
like, dude, it's like one of those moments. They like sit us in this fucking room. Nobody's fucking there. There's like 2 waiters walking around. They just fucking ignored us. We didn't get any service
Uh-huh.
to the point where we legitimately walked out.
Damn.
That's like, after that, like Olive Garden just like leaves a bad taste in my mouth.
I was expecting a way worse story than that.
Oh,
I was like, there was a
that's
rat
like-
that crawled on my food.
No, I felt disrespected. It's like a fucking child. I felt fucking
You'll never go back to Olive Garden.
No.
Damn. I love Olive Garden. It's funny because, like, I'm Italian. I have an Italian mother who makes amazing Italian food. I fucking love Olive Garden.
Would you
I don't
say
give a
Olive
shit.
Garden is the Taco Bell of Mexican? You know what I'm saying?
That's 100% what I would say. It's just like, you know what? It's not like amazing Italian food, but like I go up there, I get a chicken parmesan, I ask for it extra crispy. I ask for it with extra sauce. I just have it on like some pasta, and I got these little shitty like free breadsticks, and like it's pretty fucking good. I don't know. I don't have a problem with that.
I have a problem with them.
It's pretty good. Now what does concern me is like they started with the endless breadsticks, right?
Can I tell you how the most perfect way to describe what Olive Garden is to me?
What?
It's the GameStop of the restaurants to me.
I guess. I mean, whatever.
I don't give them my business.
Olive Garden, they started with the endless breadsticks, and that was already kind of fishy. Already it's like, okay, what are you doing with these fucking breadsticks? You know they 100% recycle those uneaten breadsticks. 100% they do that. And then now, on top of it, so at first I was like, okay, that's a little shady. But now they also have endless pasta and endless salad.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm like,
Here's
what?
one thing I tell you right now. I'm not a fan of any of that endless shit. Like Red Lobster does that shit too with like endless shrimp. It's like, what are you fuckers doing?
What dark Olive Garden arts are you practicing in that back room? What fucking black magic is happening back there? What are you doing with these breadsticks? We need some investigative journalism. I want to know what happens back there, but I don't care. I say this in the moment. Here, there are two versions of me that exist. There's the version of me that is not eating at Olive Garden, and then there's the version of me that is eating at Olive Garden. When I'm there, Todd, when I'm there, I'm family.
Schrodinger's Olive Garden.
Exactly. When I'm there, I'm all in. I'm like, fucking bring on your endless butthole breadsticks. I don't care. I don't care if you rub this on your taint or whatever it is you do with them. Just bring it on. Put it in my fat face.
Oh, fuck.
Anyway, video games, right?
Hey, this has been a great show.
This is what you come here for. What else? Anything else you've been playing other than just Witcher and Call of Duty?
Yeah, that's about it, dude.
For me, I've been pretty busy lately, but when I do get a little bit of time, I've been again chipping away at Dragon Quest 11 S.
You've been busy?
Yes.
It's crazy.
Oh yeah, it's shocking, right? I'm never busy. No, but Dragon Quest has been the mainstay for me. As Witcher has been for you, it's Dragon Quest for me. I'll tell you one thing that I really like about Dragon Quest that I just kind of like realized and articulated is Dragon Quest has got this like big generic story around it where it's like, you are the chosen one, just some typical RPG bullshit, who cares about that? But within the game, there are these like little bite-sized. It's almost like when you watch an anime, right? And there's these little mini story arcs. Like every few episodes is like a little mini story arc, you know what I mean? That's how Dragon Quest XI is. Every time I play it, I feel like I'm playing like a compartmentalized little anime story arc or something. So where like every few hours of gameplay, I just do a story arc and I move on to the next story arc. Mm-hmm. And I kind of love that structure. It makes it really easy to pick up and play because I'm not super concerned with the story at large. I just have to be in the moment with it, and I like it a lot. Dragon Quest XI is a really, really good game, and I'm having a good time with it. But that's really the bulk of what I've been playing. I mean, I'll dabble in Slay the Spire every now and then. I do real quick want to talk about Byleth, the latest fighter, the last fighter of the first Fighter Pass for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. There is a video on our YouTube channel where we showcase this character, and you're a big fan of Byleth. This is your character right here. This is your type of character.
It's definitely my type of character.
You know why? I was thinking about this just now, and I think the reason you resonated with Byleth so immediately is because, think about it. This is essentially the closest we've ever got to having like a Dark Souls fighter. Basically. Really? Like if you were to make a Dark Souls character in Smash, they would probably control quite a bit like Byleth.
Bringing out different like weapons and shit like that.
Different weapon types, because that's got to be the challenge with making like some sort of Dark Souls style character is kind of like getting all those play styles kind of wrapped into one character.
I mean, maybe that is because like I think we were talking about it when we were recording the showcases. Like high level Byleth gameplay would terrify me.
Oh, it's gonna be insane.
Because even just the dumb shit that I was pulling off, oof.
Yeah, Byleth is a very, very powerful character and has some really cool moveset potential. And definitely encourage you to watch the video if you're curious about sort of the moveset. We show off some of the taunts. We show off Byleth's stage. We show off. We even show off a little bit of Kirby with Byleth. So it's been fun. And look, I gotta say, like we all sort of cried foul when Sakurai revealed this character. It's like, fuck, another Fire Emblem character, awesome. And I mean,
Here's the I said it in the showcase. Is Byleth is actually like now my like favorite. It has taken the crown of like my favorite like Fire Emblem character in that game.
yeah, I mean, Byleth is appreciably different from all the other Fire Emblem characters, and for me, I'm like, yeah, this is instantly better than all these other ones. I definitely want to spend more time with them. So yeah, Byleth's fun, but that's me scraping the bottom of the barrel there. That's literally all I've been playing this past week. Todd, we got a few news items here.
Do we really?
We do. You know what? It's been a quiet week. I was a little bit worried about the show this week because I was like, the news has just been so quiet. But you know what? The rumor mill has come through for me because there have been some significant rumors going on this week. I got a couple of exciting little announcements here, but we're gonna get to all of that. Let's start with this. Let's start with probably the biggest news announcement this week. And this will go to show you how slow of a news week it's been, because probably the biggest bit of news we got this week was the fact that Nintendo has finally shed some light on the long-awaited Pokemon Home app. Are you familiar with this?
Fuck is that?
So this is essentially a cloud-based service that will allow players to transfer compatible Pokemon between Pokemon Go, Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, and Pokemon Sword and Shield. So you can take your Pokemon from all these games, and they're trying to make it future-proof. So it's like, cool. Now, from now on, you can store all of your Pokemon in the cloud, and you can transfer them between all of your different Pokemon games. So, pretty cool. There's a couple of different ways you can go about this. There's a free basic plan, and then there's a paid premium plan that unlocks several other features. So, really quickly, I'm just going to run down the differences, basically, between the two. So the premium plan will allow players to transfer Pokemon from Pokemon Bank, which is the old 3DS application, which let you store Pokemon from like X and Y and Sun and Moon and stuff like that. The basic users cannot access that. Basic users can deposit up to 30 Pokemon into Pokemon Home, whereas premium users can deposit up to 6,000 Pokemon. Basic users can place up to 3 Pokemon in the Wonder Box, which is the return of Wonder Trading from the 3DS games. You know what that is?
No.
Wonder Trading? Wonder Trading is essentially you put your Pokemon in the ether, and somebody else puts a random Pokemon in the ether, and you trade blindly.
That's trash.
Sometimes, even most of the time, it's trash. I remember one time I was like, let me just try. Let me see how this Wonder Trading works. And I put something good, like, up in the ether, and then I got, like, some bull. I got, like, a Caterpie that was, like, nicknamed Ripped You Off or something like that. And I was like, oh, wow, we just see the dark heart of man here. But so...
That right there was the duality of man.
Exactly. So, it's like... so. Basically, but, you know, a lot of people really like Wonder Trading. It's back. It's called the Wonder Box. Basic users can put 3 Pokemon in there. Premium users can place up to 10 Pokemon in there. Basic users can only list 1 Pokemon in the global trade system at a time, whereas premium users can list up to 3 at a time. That's basically the more specific, like, hey, I have this, I want this, basically. Basic users can participate in private trade rooms, but they cannot create private trade rooms. Only premium users can create the private trade rooms. And then only premium users have access to this new judge mechanic, which will allow players to see in-depth statistics about their Pokemon, which includes IVs. So things that are typically hidden from you from the game, they're now going to reveal to you with this judge mechanic that premium users have. So Pokemon Home, this launches next month. It's going to be on Switch. It's going to be on your smartphone. And the premium subscription will cost either $3 a month, $5 for every 3 months, or $16 for a year. Which I think is pretty reasonable. I mean, if you're a hardcore Pokemon fan, I mean, to me, that's pretty reasonable. There are a lot of people who think it's too much. They think $16 a year is like a ridiculous price for it. And I'm just like, I don't know. Is that really too much to ask? $16, man. Like, just skip out on the Wendy's one day. You know? I don't know. Of course, Todd, you can access a lot of this stuff with a basic plan. So I know you'll be transferring all of your Pokemon. I know you'll be downloading this feverishly as soon as it launches. You'll be ponying up your $16 a year.
No.
You got 6,000 Pokemon to store in there.
Oh yeah. You don't even want to see my fucking Pokedex on Sword and Shield,
dude. I looked at your card, like you have cards in Sword and Shield one time, and I was like, it was a while ago that I looked at it, but I remember your Pokedex literally had like 15 Pokemon in it.
Let me tell you right now, because I knew what I wanted when I came into that game.
And I was just thinking to myself, I was like, so hang on, like all but like 4 of these is just his current party and the evolutions of his current party.
Damn straight.
I was like, gee, he literally only caught the Pokemon that he went on to use for the rest of the game.
Yes.
And then the rest of the ones that you have in your Pokedex are probably just from trading with me.
Yes, like God intended.
I've never met somebody that plays Pokemon the way you do. Ever. I never have. I've never met somebody...
I'm not... Let me tell you right now. I'm not one of those that got to catch them all.
Well, it's not even... It's not even got to catch them all or got to catch a few. It's as if you, like... It's as if you're, like, playing a challenge run. Like, catch as little Pokemon as possible. It's like you're trying to. It's...
So I told you. I knew which Pokemon that I wanted when I came into the game.
It's just so strange. I've never met somebody that's like, yeah, I play Pokemon for the story.
Efficiency.
I'm going to go through the game in like 15 hours, get the shitty non-story that Pokemon has, and be done with it.
Don't get me started on the wild.
I've never met anybody like that. I got to be honest.
Enjoy it.
I mean, look, I'm a firm believer of no wrong way to play, but you played that game wrong. Anyway.
That is your opinion.
That's my opinion. Classic Vine. I miss Vine. And I'll never go to TikTok.
TikTok is just shit Vine.
Fuck you. Fuck all you.
What?
I'm saying fuck you to TikTok, not you.
No, dude, any TikTok video I've ever seen, I've like hated with every fiber of my fucking being.
Here's the problem with TikTok. The problem with TikTok, and I have seen some TikTok videos that I thought were funny. Jenna Marbles actually has a couple of videos where she shows off like her favorite TikToks, and some of them are funny. I will laugh at some of them. The problem with TikTok is that the content is not curated in the way that Vine is, or Vine was, I guess, because like TikTok has got, yeah, there's some things that have like quote unquote Vine energy, but then it also is like just as many like little, girls dressed up like anime characters or lip syncing Hatsune Miku songs or like whatever, just like, or like dumb gameplay clips. TikTok has too much of that other shit in there. It's just not, I don't know. It's not for me.
Mm-hmm.
It's not for me. I got a couple of little announcements here, Todd. Moving on from that TikTok direction. So this was cool to see. This warmed my cold, dead heart a little bit. So Stardew Valley creator Eric Baroni announced on Twitter this week that the game has officially surpassed a whopping 10 million copies sold. Good for that dude, man. Do you remember? I think he was the subject of Blood, Sweat, and Pixels, that book we read. You remember that?
Yes.
And I think he like created Stardew Valley like fresh out of like a breakup or something like that, and he was the sole developer. He worked on it for like years, slaved away on it, lost his job and shit. And look at him.
I don't think it was a breakup.
Was it? I don't remember the details. I mean,
I'm pretty sure his girlfriend supported him the whole time.
Maybe that's what it was. Yeah, I just remember him talking about like his depression and shit like that during that time. I remember him saying that the development of Stardew Valley was like dark times for him.
Shit. And
like, it's just kind of cool now to see the game go on. I mean, 10 million copies, that's a lot of fucking copies no matter who you are. Even if you're a AAA game, 10 million copies is a lot of copies. So it's cool. So Eric Brony, he went on Twitter, he tweeted out, he says, quote, Stardew Valley has sold over 10 million copies. It's strange and amazing to think back to when I was making this game in my bedroom with no clue if anyone would like it. Only 4 years ago. To everyone who has played this game, supported it, and made all this possible, thank you. End quote. So just really cool. I thought that was really heartwarming. I mean, that's the American dream, dude. Where like you can just be on your own, making this shit by yourself. You make an amazing game. Stardew Valley is an amazing game.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, that game is really, really good for one dude to have made. And, like, here he is 10 million copies later. That dude's got to be filthy fucking rich. Are you kidding me? That dude's got to be loaded now. Anyway. Very cool news. That made me happy to read. Of course, there are several gameplay videos of Todd and I badly playing Stardew Valley in co-op on Switch.
And we'll play it again, damn it.
I would really like to go back to that someday. I really love that game. Anyway, a couple little announcements here. So it's been a long time coming, but I wanted to give a spotlight to the fact that Patapon 2 Remastered finally releases on PlayStation Store this week. Are you familiar with Patapon?
Never heard about it in my life.
So, do you remember... Let me ask you about a console that I have a certain fondness for, Todd. And that console is the PlayStation Portable, the PSP. Challenge everything.
The only thing that's about the one thing I do remember.
So
the only thing I remember playing on like PSP was like I remember there being like a fucking collection of like old school fucking retro games on that bitch.
Like one of those like Namco Museum games or something. Yeah. So PSP had a lot of weird little games that like Sony Studios Japan was making. And one of them was like Loco Roco. Remember Loco Roco?
I remember the name, and I feel like if I look it up, I'll remember.
You would. It's this like super colorful artsy game where you use the.
Yeah, I actually played this.
Yes, you press the triggers to either like move the environment or make the environment bouncy.
What a
and
strange
stuff like that.
fucking game.
Strange game. So in that similar vein, back when Sony was making these really interesting, weird first-party PSP games, they made this little series called Patapon. And Patapon actually wound up having 3 games on PSP, believe it or not. And really unique, really beautiful art. And essentially what Patapon is it is like a strategy RPG, but without any of the strategy bullshit, and instead... mechanically, it's a rhythm game. And essentially you have these little creatures called Patapons, and they worship you as their god. And you command them with your voice, and they talk to you with their drums, like with their music. And all of their drums and their sort of like war music is based on like the symbols on the controller, the square, triangle, cross, circle. And it's interesting. So you'll be like pata 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 pawn, and they'll respond with their drums, and they'll move forward, and they'll attack, and blah blah blah. There's different like combinations, different little.
I don't like it.
Different little war songs. It's really cool. I really like this series a lot. They had a little initiative with PlayStation. I think they announced this during like a PSX one year, where they remastered Loco Roco. They threw that up on PSN. You can go buy it right now. Like Loco Roco in 4K on your PS4. They did the same thing to Parappa the Rapper. They did the same thing to the first Patapon, and then they announced that they're doing Patapon 2, but like 2 years later, we were like, what the fuck? Where's Patapon 2? And now it's finally coming out. So, really cool, and I definitely want to go back and play these games at some point. Really fun games. Bring back more of these weird PSP franchises. I love this shit. I love the weird experimental Sony. Don't get me wrong. I love the big budget, AAA action adventure Sony first party titles, but I also love these little weird first party Sony titles. I'd love to see a new Patapon or a new Loco Roco or something like that.
You disgust me. No, I'm just playing.
PSP was a cool system, man. I really liked it.
It was a system. No.
Did you actually own one, or?
Yeah, I had a PSP.
I just remember really liking that. I remember liking the God of War games on PSP, the GTA games on PSP. I had a good time with.
I remember. I think I played my PSP more than my whatever the fuck. What was the current handheld of a Nintendo at that point?
I mean, DS.
Yeah.
So
I think I played them actually pretty evenly. They reach into the dark fucking recesses of my mind.
So yeah, another little announcement here. I just wanted to highlight this real quick. So we do know February's PlayStation Plus and Xbox Live Games with Gold titles for February 2020. So if you're a PS Plus user, you can snag the BioShock collection. You can get The Sims 4, and you can get Firewall 0 Hour for PSVR. That's a really good month for PlayStation Plus, by the way.
Yeah, it really is.
I mean, I don't have PSVR, but from what I hear, Firewall 0 Hour is actually one of the better PSVR games. Sims 4, if you're into The Sims, there you go. I mean, BioShock Collection, that's a no-brainer. BioShock 1, BioShock 2, BioShock Infinite, those are fucking amazing games. So can't go wrong there. If you're a PlayStation Plus member, be sure to jump on there and add these games to your library. Even if you don't plan on playing them anytime soon, add them to your library at least so that you have them always. So Xbox Live Games with Gold, you can get something called TT Isle of Man. I don't know what the fuck this is. It seems like it's some sort of like motocross game or something. I don't know. And the cover's got like a dude on a motorcycle, like a crotch rocket. So I don't know what it is. And also you can get Call of Cthulhu for Xbox One. The interesting thing that Games with Gold does is they give you Xbox One games, 360 games, and an original Xbox game. So that's kind of cool. So for 360, you get Fable Heroes. You remember Fable Heroes?
Nobody remembers Fable Heroes.
That's true. Let me ask you this. Do you remember Fable pub games?
I remember that more. Fable Heroes.
I remember you could cheese Fable pub games because the whole gimmick was that you could take the gold you made in there and transfer it to Fable 2.
Yeah.
And you could cheese the fuck out of it and just get like filthy rich in Fable 2. I remember that. And for original Xbox, you were also entitled to Star Wars Battlefront, the first one. So, I think PlayStation's got your number on that one. This month, there, Xbox.
Why are people talking shit about like Warcraft 3 right now?
Yeah.
You notice that shit?
Yeah, I read a little bit about this. Apparently the Warcraft 3, what's it called, Reforged or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, more like refunded. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, that's
what people are calling it.
Yeah.
So from what I understand, there are connectivity issues, and the annoying thing is that so you can actually switch back and forth between the new version of the game and the old version of the game, which is fine. However, because of the connectivity issues, even if you want to just play the old version of the game by yourself, you can't. So for these people that are experiencing connectivity issues with the game, they literally cannot play it. Not the new or the old version.
Why is this the best shit ever? I'm just looking at something. It's like how to get a refund for Warcraft 3 Reforged.
Exactly. And from what it looks like, they didn't even really like... People are kind of scratching their heads. They're like, I don't understand really. There's not really anything new.
Yeah. That's one of the things I was saying.
They apparently have done a few new voice lines. The graphics apparently have seen a huge overhaul, but that's like about it.
I think I saw someone else people bitching about like basically Blizzard essentially owning like some bullshit. Like about some like custom maps that you make that Blizzard just owns it like automatically or some shit.
Well, I mean, you have to. It's weird too because you have to consider too that like, I both see where they're coming from and I do and I don't because think about Dota, right? For those that don't know, Dota got its roots, which now became obviously Dota 2, huge deal, blah blah blah. Dota got its roots. Dota is a Warcraft 3 mod.
Yeah,
and like, it became a huge thing, and Blizzard doesn't get a piece of that. And like, so I sort of understand that Blizzard has to protect their assets, and I mean, it's the hard reality of what happens when you merge with a mega company and you become Activision Blizzard, right?
Yeah, so top story when I Googled Dota, top story is Blizzard now claims full copyright for player-made custom
Yeah,
game mods.
exactly.
Yeah. Yep.
Because they don't want another Dota situation on their hands. So, I understand and I don't understand. So, but yeah, but I've got here on my news drop here. I've just got a couple of rumors and leaks that I wanna because some of these are exciting, Todd. In fact, I would say that most of them are exciting, and I'm gonna tickle your pickle a little bit here if you'll allow me to.
Ooh.
If you'll allow me to reach down there and I'm just kidding. So let's start with this.
It's a baby gherkin.
A baby gherkin, one of those little sandwich pickles. See those on a fine charcuterie plate. You like a good charcuterie plate?
Yes, I do actually.
I know you do.
Motherfucker, I bake shitty ones for myself in my depression.
Oh, I like to make a charcuterie plate every now and then. Get some meats. Get some. I might have some of them baby pickles on there. Some cheeses. Some crackers.
See, yeah, you know, I can just eat a block of cheese and not think twice about it.
You know what I really like? What I got into when I was making little charcuterie plates? They have these little mini, naan, like the Indian pita bread.
Yes.
Little
I'm
mini.
assuming you're talking about the non-dippers.
Yes, the little Stonefire naan dippers.
Yes, yeah.
Get that in a little bowl of hummus, garlic hummus.
Oh, dude, great. It's fantastic.
And I'm in good shape there. I'm in real good shape. Anyway, guys, this has been a tangent-filled episode, hasn't it?
Hey, enjoy. We gotta get that. We gotta hit that hour somehow.
we gotta make sure we're not wasting the people's time too much. And how do we do that? By wasting their time.
Hey, tangents are a Nerd Bourbon specialty.
So Todd, prolific leakers coming out of the woodwork this week, claiming that Resident Evil 8 is indeed in development, which is no surprise. But they claim to have the first details of the game.
Okay.
So the big thing here is that it seems like it will indeed be a direct Resident Evil 7 sequel. The same protagonist, I guess his name is Ethan,
Okay.
from Resident Evil 7 will return. The first-person perspective of Resident Evil 7 will return.
Okay.
Which is interesting because a lot of people were sort of like, okay, RE7 was a success. People seem to really like it. I didn't play it because fuck Capcom, and I got really mad at that game, and I am never going to play that game. But
we don't. That was going to be the first game that Seth here was going to play on our first Halo stream.
Would have been the first playthrough there, and Capcom decided to fuck me real good, and no, that's not going to happen. I'm never going to play that game, just out of principle. Mm-hmm. But I hear it's really good, and I hear people really like it, and this seems like this will be a sequel to that. We were a little like, was RE7 just like an experiment? Are they just going to go back to the third person? No. Does not seem to be the case.
I mean, I think what I got from Resident Evil 7, it felt like it kind of went back to its roots in a way, like with some of the way the game plays, essentially.
Yeah, like the layout of stuff like that.
Yeah.
You're still solving puzzles. You're still finding items in the mansions and shit like that, and you're still finding keys and turning them upside down and blah blah blah. Still getting your
making
herbs.
Shadow shit.
Yeah, exactly. Moving light boxes and shit. So yeah, but it seems like we're gonna return to the first person perspective. Chris Redfield will play a role in the game, which we sort of already knew.
Hashtag not my Chris Redfield.
Yeah, that weird looking Chris Redfield they got in there.
I need steroid fucking punching a boulder.
Yeah, I need boulder punching Chris Redfield. So this is interesting. So a dumb note that they made here is that zombies return. Okay, cool.
What?
Yeah, it says zombies return.
Is that just essentially saying that there's another outbreak, or is zombie?
I guess. I don't know. I guess we'll have to see what their take on it.
I'm curious, how they're gonna bring back that protagonist. Is he gonna be working for? Because Chris was essentially working for Umbrella, a new Umbrella, right? So is Ethan just gonna be working?
It's sort of
under Umbrella or something.
They sort of hint almost that Chris kind of comes to his rescue and maybe he recruits him, right?
Maybe. I mean, shit, Buddy did like do a good job.
Yeah, so there are apparently going to be new enemies called stalkers. Here's the interesting thing, though. According to this leak, new enemy type, werewolves.
Ooh, what?
That sounds cool.
Uh, you have my attention because I'm curious how that would work.
I'm like, hang on, first person Resident Evil game with werewolves? That sounds fucking dope.
Sounds terrifying.
I'm on board for that. Like, I am on board for that shit. So
That's a game I would not want to play with a VR headset, like Resident Evil 7.
oh hell no.
Dude, that game would like genuinely like fuck me up.
But you know what though? I have to respect they were early adopters of the VR stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
They made that
Like,
game from the
I remember actually talking to a buddy of mine at one of my old stores I worked at that played it with a VR headset. Dude, he's like, bro, fuck that shit.
Yeah, no. Good on that. So yeah, speaking of rumors though, we've got a couple of interesting ones that have kind of made the rounds this week. So we've got a rumor here that claims that Konami is currently developing 2 Silent Hill titles. So this is obviously kind of hot off the heels of the...
shit.
What's that?
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Trying to resurrect it?
Yeah, this of course is coming off the heels of that Kojima drama, right? So it sounds like they're working on 2 titles. One is a soft reboot of the franchise.
Okay.
The other is an episodic game, kind of like a Telltale or Until Dawn style kind of game. And from what we understand, Konami was approaching developers about these some 2 years ago. So one or both of these potential rumored games could be well into development if the rumors are true.
I mean, as much as I like, I go down the rabbit hole on like I used to go down the rabbit hole on like Silent Hill wiki bullshit. Because it gets just asinine talking about the symbolism and
Oh
shit.
yeah.
It's like why this character turned into a dog.
Yes, you know what? The soft reboot, I can take or leave that. I don't really give a flying fuck about that.
The episodic thing, it sounds interesting.
I actually think Silent Hill can work really well for an episodic game. I could really see that working out well. The only thing I really care about ultimately is that you bring back the composer, Akira Yamaoka, like one of my favorite video game composers. So good. But
I just kind of don't think Silent Hill needs to exist again. You know, just
I think the fan base is sort of split on Silent Hill right now because on one hand, Resident Evil is thriving. Like Resident Evil, you could argue, has probably never been in a better place.
Here's the thing: there's a lot of people who would say that like, when was the last good Silent Hill game?
Yeah, and then you've also got all this PT, Silent Hills, Kojima drama.
You have all that shit that left a bad taste in motherfuckers' mouths, and you have Silent Hill 6 is trash. Silent Hill 5 is... A lot of people are, I think, split for the most part on that one. Like, there's people that do like that, and there's people that just genuinely hate that shit, too.
I think there's honestly more bad ones than good ones. Like, the only Silent Hill game that I really, really, really like is 2. But it is what it is.
And then, what's the other one?
The Room.
There was another one that was like...
You might be thinking of
Room?
Homecoming.
No, Homecoming's 5, technically.
Okay.
The Room. 4, is it 4?
Yeah, I think
Or
so.
3?
Either 3 or 4.
What the fuck?
I don't fucking remember. I don't fucking remember, Todd.
I don't want to go down this road.
I feel like I am in fucking Silent Hill right now. Shit.
Play the fucking
you know what? It's funny though because I look at this franchise. The people. I mean, look, it's a beloved franchise. I think the music is great, but to me, I'm like, I kind of prefer the movies.
Now, can I say one thing I do respect about those movies? Is they take bits and pieces of like the games and kind of meld them together.
I don't even care about that. I think those are just. I think those movies are just. They're weird. They do a good job of capturing like the weird sort of gore porn, like weird imagery of Silent Hill. I think they do a good job of that. and that's really all I care about.
And you know what's wrong? I actually wouldn't have mind getting a third one.
Yeah, I
Never
I
good.
like those movies.
Because the third one was essentially going to be. I mean, they left it open to basically do Silent Hill 2 in movie form.
It's funny because to me it's the exact opposite of the video game space. Resident Evil owns the video game space. I hate the Resident Evil movies.
Oh, fuck the Resident Evil movies, dude.
And then it's like, cool, Silent Hill, most of those games suck. I like the movies. So anyway, that's cool. Rumors, blah blah blah. Now here's what really I'm gonna end the show with this little discussion. Because this is a very exciting rumor. And I hope it's true. Rumor has it, Todd, this has been running rampant this week, is that EA is working on a new Knights of the Old Republic game. And it's not exactly what you think. This game is not going to be a remake of KOTOR 1 or 2 or anything like that. It's also not really going to be KOTOR 3. This is going to be a brand new Knights of the Old Republic game that is going to blend story elements of KOTOR 1 and 2 from BioWare and Obsidian, respectively. And it's going to be a brand new game that works all of that shit into the new canon. So, because that is kind of a challenge they have right now.
You have my attention.
Yeah, exactly. This is a challenge they have right now is everything that we know about Star Wars, kind of like... I'm somebody who gets obsessed. I belong to like 5 Star Wars subreddits. I'm stupid about this shit. Everything we know about what's coming up with Star Wars is pointing us to an Old Republic direction. Or High Republic, as they're calling it.
Revan.
So Revan is canon.
I know.
Revan is actually canon.
I know. They technically... I know he's canon.
They're little roundabout ways that they have confirmed all these things in the new canon.
Well, they made Revan technically canon with like some shitty fucking... I mean, they probably did it before, but I remember like there was a thing with that fleet in Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, exactly. It's literally
like
one of the Sith Trooper fleets. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So they have all that, and now it's like EA is working on a actual Knights of the Old Republic game that is going to make all this stuff fit into the new canon.
And all I want from this is an old high, whatever the fuck they want to call it,
High Republic.
High Republic with my boy Keanu Reeves as Revan. That's all I need.
A lot of people want that.
We all need it. We all deserve it.
So this is all really interesting because we are there's stuff that we're pointing to. So we've gotten all these rumors for a long time that the next like Star Wars movies are going to be taking place in the High Republic. Blah blah blah. And then there's something coming out, something that they're calling Project Luminous, that Lucasfilm has been teasing, and they're actually in February going to be revealing the details of what it is. They're calling it a multimedia project, Project Luminous. And the writer, the guy who's kind of spearheading all of this, is the current writer of the main Star Wars comic. And apparently in the main Star Wars comic right now, they're doing a lot of talk about High Republic shit. So it seems like whatever this Project Luminous is, it could very well be High Republic, Old Republic related, and perhaps this new game from EA that is rumored is going to tie into that stuff and kind of give people a taste of new canon Old Republic, basically. Giving us a taste of what the Old Republic is in this new canon, how it's all contextualized, give us all a really good idea of that before we get some Old Republic movies. So, I'm very, very on board for this. You know me, I love the Old Republic era. The more Old Republic I get, the better. Mm-hmm. And I'm very excited to see more. I hope this is true. And it's so funny because obviously Fallen Order came out last year and it's done so well that it's like, could it be? Is EA going to start making Star Wars games? Are they actually going to start making them?
Well, they're actually gonna start making well, you know, I was about to say are gonna start making good games. Shit, Battlefront 2 is actually a good game. Took them a while, but it's good.
They got there. So exciting stuff. Exciting stuff here. What do you so if they're gonna make this, what elements of the first two games do you want to see them work into this new game? What in your opinion, what needs to be made part of the new canon?
I mean, I legitimately. I mean, I understand that Revan is canon,
Yes.
but I want to see Revan.
Yes.
So, I mean, ooh, God, from the elements from those games, I would actually like to see a little more Revan, and I don't know, it's just like how far are they willing to go with it,
Uh-huh.
you know? Because shit, there's a lot of stuff even from like KOTOR 2 I wouldn't mind seeing like in the canon, like fucking what was that asshole called? That was basically like he's kept himself alive.
Talking about Nihilus?
Not Nihilus, the other one, the Pain.
Oh yeah.
Pain. Scion or was this
I
Scion?
don't fucking remember.
I want to see that zombie ass looking piece of shit.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about from KOTOR 2.
Yeah.
I don't see you're hung up on characters for me.
There's aspects that I would like to see. I would like to see like you go Uber nerd.
Well,
Unleash yourself.
it's not even just that. Just for me, yeah, characters would be cool. I'd like to see. Obviously, Revan is a huge part of the Old Republic lore and stuff like that. It's all characters like Bastila. I'd like to see brought into the current canon. That's all well and good, but for me, the things that are the most important about the Old Republic era is the ancient ways of the Jedi and Sith. Like the actual going to these old planets. And
is it? I would love to see that fucking world in movie form or game form. Was it Corbin?
Yeah, Corbin, the Sith. Yeah, Sith world,
yeah.
basically Sith home planet. Yeah, that would be awesome.
Ooh, like the Sith Academy and shit.
That's the kind of stuff that I want to see. That's the sort I want to see. Because this is stuff that we don't get to see in the sort of modern. We get tinges of it, like even like remember in Rogue One how they had Jeddah, where they had like that like Jedi statue and everything, and they introduced the concept of Kyber crystals and stuff like that. That was all cool, and I would like to see more things like that. I want to tap into the ancient Jedi and the ancient Sith, and I want to dig into that. And that's where I think the most interesting things in the Old Republic lie. What's also cool about the Old Republic is that you can, at the same time, still touch on really interesting stuff. There's still things like smugglers and bounty hunters and criminals and stuff like that. That all still exists. You can go to Nar Shaddaa.
Yes. I was wondering if we were going to drop that.
So I just there's a lot of possibilities.
What the fuck was that joke?
It was
Lord.
something like I don't remember what the context was, but it was like trying to describe a place that was really bad or crime ridden.
And it's like it was like Nar Shaddaa.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't remember exactly the context. It was so many years ago, but yeah. But yes, these are the things I'm really excited to see these things worked into the new canon. And look, maybe they won't be exactly like they were, in these games and these books.
They won't.
And stuff.
They more than likely won't be.
They Disneyify them.
No, it'll be the High Republic will be women.
Oh God. We gotta Knights of the Woke Republic. Anyway.
Did you see that shit? Like I saw it. People have been talking about it. It was like the shit with Black Panther.
No.
I don't know like how like legit this is, but I saw some bullshit about like it seems like there's rumors that like Bozeman's gonna be like phased out, and it's like Shuri's gonna become a.
That'd be kind of cool.
That's
though.
been done in the comics though. So
yeah,
it's, like, it's whatever.
I'd be kind of cool with that. I kind of really like Shuri. It wouldn't shock me. I mean, I guess we'll see.
No, it wouldn't shock me at all.
Somebody was quoted. I didn't read. I just saw the headline, but somebody was quoted as like, "Oh, Captain Marvel 2 will be like even more controversial than the first one," or something like that. I'm like, I didn't really think the first one was controversial. Thought it was just a mediocre movie.
That's where I was with it. It's just I just didn't think it was that good.
I thought she was cool. I want to see more of her, but anyway, Todd, let's not end this tangent-filled episode with yet another tangent.
Tangent time.
Do you got anything else you'd like to add before we wrap it up, sir?
No, I'm good.
All right,
That's all.
all right. Well, we'll catch everybody next week. Thank you all for listening. Get fucking dunked on. Bye.
See ya.
Hey there, thanks for checking out another fantastic Nerd Bourbon video. If you like what you saw and you want to see more, be sure to go ahead and subscribe, leave us a like, drop us a nice comment, or I guess a mean one if that's your prerogative. But until next time, get dunked on.